my name is Karen Seris, and my topic is, do other species share cognitive skills? The pages that were assigned to me were pages 367 to 369. Animals are intelligent and interesting creatures. Margaret Floyd Washburn believed that we can infer animal consciousness by studying their behavior. 104 years later, neuroscientists from the University of Cambridge also added that we're able to learn about animal consciousness by studying and examining their brains. Today I'll be talking about how animals and humans share similar cognitive skills. The first skill is using concepts and numbers. Animals can place objects into concepts or categories. Even pigeons that have brains no bigger than the tip of our index finger are able to see an object and place it into a category. In particular, there's this one African gray parrot named Alex. He was able to categorize and name objects throughout his lifetime. He was able to comprehend numbers up to 8, speak the number of objects, add, and also if you placed two numbers in front of him, he was able to tell you which number was greater. There's children that are in kindergarten that also learn the skills that he learned. Children are taught how to count and add and also know the value of things. And in this picture, I'm assuming that a scientist asked him a question, and this is how Alex answered with the number 2. The second skill is displaying insight. Psychologist Wolfgang Kohler demonstrated that there are animals that display insight. He did this by conducting an experiment. He placed a long stick and a fruit outside of Sultan the chimpanzee's cage and a short stick inside of the cage. Sultan then reached for the short stick and tried reaching the fruit. However, after many attempts, he realized that he was not getting the fruit. So instead, he started thinking and he got an idea. He instead used the short stick to reach the long stick. After reaching the long stick, he reached for the fruit and he successfully got it. Sultan was able to use convergent and divergent thinking, which means that he was able to think of possible solutions. And also, as humans, we do the same thing. We use convergent thinking by thinking of all the solutions and picking the best solution. We also do divergent thinking, which means thinking outside of the box and being creative on our solutions. There has also been studies shown that great apes keep the tools that they think they will need in the future. As humans, we do the same. We keep our keys, we keep our cars, our phones. We do all of this because we know we will need it in the future. Which takes me to my third point, which is using tools and transmitting cultures. Chimpanzees choose different tools for different purposes. As here shown in the picture, these chimpanzees are using these sticks to poke holes on the rock. They also use long, flexible sticks in order to fish termites. However, not all chimpanzees have behaved the same way. Communication and hunting skills create cultural diversity in animals. For example, Group A may want to break nuts with a stone hammer, while Group B may want to break nuts with a wooden hammer. Us as humans, we do the same thing. A very simple example is some people prefer eating noodle soup with a spoon and other people prefer eating with a fork. Also, cultural transmission is seen in experiments involving chimpanzees. There has been some experiments in which they have shown that if a chimpanzee does something a certain way to get a fruit or a food, the chimpanzee will try and copy that chimpanzee, and then another chimpanzee will copy him, and then it just leads to a chain of cultural transmission. And the phrase monkey see, monkey do really plays out in their lives. And then lastly, I will be talking about other cognitive skills that animals have. Baboons are able to recognize the voice of 80 voices in a group. Us as humans are able to do the same. We're able to recognize the voice of our loved ones and distinguish them from one another. Great apes and dolphins are also self-aware. Like in this picture, this person was able to place a mirror in front of a dolphin, and this dolphin knows that it's him or her. As humans, we are experts in looking at ourselves in the mirror, and we can see every feature in our face. Elephants are also able to do the same thing. However, they also have amazing skills such as teaching, learning, cooperating, being able to empathize, and remember and reject smells. As you can see, us humans and elephants share many of these qualities. We learn about psychology, we teach our parents about technology, and remember to feed our pets, and so many more things. Now going back to chimpanzees, chimpanzees are able to show altruism, cooperate, and have group aggression. We do the same thing. We are able to help each other, be selfless, and we also have rivalry. Another thing is that I learned two interesting things. One of them is that chimpanzees are willing to kill their neighbor in order to gain territory, which we have seen that we have done that plenty of times throughout history, such as going into war and trying to gain land. Also, the second thing that I found interesting was that chimpanzees grieve over their dead relative's death. And we do the same thing. We go through a grieving process and we go through the same thing. Lastly, in conclusion, I have realized that we are not that different from animals. We all have very similar cognitive skills, and we should really appreciate it. Thank you.